Peace to the gods and the goddesses of the nation and of the land and of all creation. I hope everybody doing well. Hope you blessed. I know that you can't see me a little bit, but I just had to get this word out right quick, man, before I head into work and, do what I gotta do. Listen, it's two wars right now that's being fought, man. One between black people and the police, and the other one is something that's been going on for just as long. Black people against black people. Now, if you're from the Rochester, New York area, you've know in light of Daniel Prude being killed, excuse me, harshly by the police. You already know about the mayor, Lovely Warren, being investigated, saying that she already knew the information. She had the video of them killing Mr. Prude, and she didn't say shit about it. But you also know right now that last night about 16 people were shot, 2 dead, in an incident that shouldn't have never happened. All I could say is, and this is not just for Rochester because I live in there, this is for America and the world in general, to black people, to people of African descent. You have to stop killing each other. Bad enough we already got the police out here killing us. And you getting this word right here from a thug, from a person who lived his life daily thinking, today it might be me, or today I might have to do it to somebody else. That's the person that you're listening to talking to you, who lived that life every day of his life since he was a kid. I've been in the streets since I was 9 years old. I know how hard it can be when you want to find a meal. I know what it's like to be homeless. I know what it's like to be in a $400,000 house, chilling with everything I want. I know how it is to be moderate. But what I know right now is that it's time to focus our attention on the criminal justice system, police reform, getting the right people in office in order to implement our agenda. It's time to look at one another as a valuable piece to this puzzle that we are trying to put together. It is time for us as African Americans and African descent of all places to say, you want to know what? Let's hold off on this beef with each other and focus on what's at hand right now. Because another Daniel Prude will happen. Another George Floyd will happen. Another Breonna Taylor will happen. Right now, we are fighting against the beast. The system that's trying to put us under an order, excuse me, that was implemented by the United Nations in order to bring order. And if they keep seeing that you still focus on local beefs and not the real problem, which is them that's at hand, they're going to keep doing the same thing that they do to you. You want to know what the problem is that we have as black people? We tend to forget. We tend to forget that they did this fuck shit to us. We tend to forget that we are under oppression 24/7. We tend to forget that. Once they give somebody a little piece of money, they give you a little bit of breathing room, an hour of rest. But 23 more hours, they give you pure hell. But that 1 hour of rest, you forgive them. It's time to put away the forgiveness for the beast system, people. And it's definitely time to stop killing each other. Now we've seen in Rochester that our mayor is being investigated for knowing that the police killed Daniel Prude. She been hiding it. And I know you probably saying, well, you should have been talked about this. The only reason why I really didn't want to talk about this at first, because it's on my home front and I know of that man's family. So out of respect, I try to, keep my mouth shut, because at the end of the day, his family deserves that. And I'm not going to get into explicit details, but I'm going to tell you that that man was wrongfully murdered. They put a bag over his head and held his face down. Held they hands on his face. They covered him with a bag over his head and killed him. He was dead at the scene. Even though they said that they resuscitated him and got him back to the hospital, Daniel was dead at the scene, fam. This is what we've come to in our lives. We are experiencing what our forefathers experienced, except for they had to watch their families be lynched. They had to watch their families die. Like we're having to watch our families die. Except for back then, it was more legal than what it is now. It was easier for them to get away with it than it is now. So now that they can't get away with it like how they want to get away with it, it's time for us to strike back. You do some shit, we retaliate. Not as in force, but we retaliate with your life played in the criminal system that you place upon us. And you see that other people are taking different routes to where we got youngsters running up on cops, gunning them down. It's gonna happen more. As long as you keep killing us, that shit is gonna happen. Every state, you're gonna get hit off. It's gonna be like the Queens era back in the early 80s and 90s, where they was finding cops in the dumpsters. If you know anything about the Queens saga days, Jamaica, Queensbridge, you get what I'm saying? When they was finding all them cops in the dumpsters, it's going to start happening like that now. Cops are not going to be able to sit on your street. They will only be able to cruise through. Until then, man, peace and blessings to the gods and the goddesses of the nation, of the land, and of all creation. Everybody be well and bring a positive effect on you, yourself, your family, and those who you come in contact with, and you'll be fine. Peace.